Coming up on Fulton Today, Fulton officials address election concerns and encourage early voting. We'll explain how.
I'm Priscilla Ortega. County and national leaders lead by example and vote early. Coming up in a full report, I'll have details on how the early voting process is going so far.
And we're sharing some tricks that will ensure your Halloween night is a real treat. That and more starts right now on Fulton Today. Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis-Rucker. Fulton officials take additional steps to inform voters so that they can be sure about their correct polling location. They've also made the actual early voting process more convenient for senior citizens and college students. FGTV's Priscilla Ortega has been on the election beat for us. Priscilla?
This is the first year Fulton opened early voting outreach locations. The 12 outreach locations are set up at colleges and universities like Georgia Tech and at senior centers, so residents don't have to leave the building to vote early.
It was very convenient, very quick, so it was perfect.
Early voting outreach locations are giving residents another way to avoid long election day lines.
I work in this building, so I was just able to pop down when I had a couple free minutes from work and cast my vote.
The 12 outreach sites are set up for 2 days each at certain campuses and senior centers.
Most of the time, people just come in. We don't have a line, and I think the process moves more smoothly during early voting rather than election day.
While many take advantage of the convenience of early voting, commissioners address any election-related issues with the director of the Registration and Elections Department. In particular, the director spoke about the precinct location mailers sent out by a vendor, but some letters were mistakenly forwarded to new addresses because of that vendor.
They made a crucial error. They were following professional best practices, but the issue has been fixed by the vendor already, as they have put more than 23,000 additional letters into the mail at their expense.
Congressman John Lewis and Fulton's chairman John Eves lead by example and cast their ballot early at the government center.
The vote is precious. It's almost sacred. It is the most powerful, non-violent instrument or tool we have in a democratic society, and we must use it.
Fulton County is being a leader in the state in terms of a county making voting accessible to all the eligible voters in our wonderful county.
The early voting, and in particular the outreach locations, are all about accessibility, especially for those who may not have transportation.
I live on campus, so it was easiest for me to come in somewhere that was on campus.
There are also 24 early voting locations that residents can vote at until November 4th. For times and locations, you can go to earlyvoting.fultoncountyga.gov. Reporting from Georgia Tech, I'm Priscilla Ortega for FGTV.
Thanks, Priscilla. In other election news, all voters are encouraged to go social with their vote by allowing their political voice to actually go viral.
Take the challenge, Post the Peach!
Successfully launched 2 years ago, the nonpartisan Post the Peach campaign asked Georgia voters to not only vote early, but to take a picture of themselves proudly displaying their I'm a Georgia voter stickers and uploading it by using the hashtag #PostThePeach.
So after you vote, you come out of the polling location and you take a selfie of yourself, and don't just make a standard selfie, make it a real good selfie. And put it on social media to your friends, your family, and your neighbors, and challenge them to post the peach as well.
In addition to the Post the Peach, the voter education team gave a demonstration on how technology is making this election run more smoothly.
We want to make sure that we arm our voters with all of the tools possible to inform them of all aspects of voting, to make voting convenient for them, as well as to provide directions to them to the multiple early voting sites that we operate.
From the county's revamped early voting website to smartphone and tablet technology, election officials are offering these tools so voters can double check their designated polling locations. The goal is to get as many people as possible to vote with as few problems as possible. The county's economic development team selects its new home.
3, 2, 1. Right.
Commissioners, distinguished guests, and the community were on hand for a ribbon-cutting ceremony to celebrate the completion and renovation of the new Select Fulton headquarters right here in the Government Center.
What we really want to do is to use this as a place that our economic development partners, and also it can be utilized by the county leadership and so forth for meetings and that type of thing. So we tried to bring a little high tech to the opportunity and try to take us to make sure that we are competitive.
The 3,300 square foot state-of-the-art office space includes a welcome area, various sized conference rooms, 8 professional offices, and a central project filing room.
These facilities are great. It projects the image we need to project when we're going after these high-tech companies. We are in the high-tech business, and this projects that image. So we're proud of Select Fulton, and merging the economic development with the development authority just gives it more strength to go out there and be competitive.
With the All People Have Economic Opportunity strategic priority area in mind, the thought is that the new headquarters will continue to attract business and highlight the reasons that companies, entrepreneurs, and citizens should choose to call Fulton County home.
Well, this is really an iconic, game-changing deal for Fulton County. We're really excited about this. This is going to help hopefully create more jobs and help bring additional tax revenue to Fulton County.
Launched this year, Select Fulton is Fulton County's economic development initiative that brings together the expertise of the Development Authority of Fulton County and a professional economic development team. Well, with Halloween sneaking up on us, we want to make sure that your little goblins have a spooktacular and safe time. Corporal Maureen Smith is with the Fulton County Police Department, and she's here now with some tips for both parents and kids. Corporal, welcome back to Fulton Today.
Hi, Shania. Thanks for having me.
All right, first things first, let's get straight to those tips to make sure that everyone has a safe Halloween evening.
We encourage that parents take their children out during daylight hours, and most of all, we'd like the community to be reminded that children are going to be out trick-or-treating, and they tend to dart out in traffic. So we just want everybody to slow down, and we want to encourage children to cross at crosswalks.
And what are some of the do's and don'ts when it comes to costumes?
We encourage that parents dress their children in costumes that are light in color so that they can be seen at night. And because it does get darker earlier, we encourage that they carry flashlights. And also you can tape reflective tape on their costumes. And definitely use makeup instead of mask. Mask constricts their view and they could trip and fall. And don't forget those comfortable shoes.
And because of some of the recent controversies with the clown sightings, what are your thoughts with regard to these clown costumes?
Absolutely. I suggest that you avoid the clown costume because of the recent clown controversy, and people have been seen in clown costumes committing crimes and putting fear in communities. I would avoid the clown costume altogether.
And the big thing for kids, of course, is getting the candy. So what kinds of tips do you have for parents?
You should always check your children's candy when they come in from trick-or-treating. Make sure that the candy hasn't been tampered with. Candy that's unwrapped is not good. And also check the fruit. If you cut it up, and make sure there aren't any sharp objects inside the fruit. But definitely check the candy. And also give your child something to eat before they go trick-or-treating, maybe a snack or a small meal, so that they won't be going into the bag and eating the candy before they get home.
And Corporal, your final thoughts?
We just want everybody to be safe during this time, and we also want you to know that there are other alternatives than trick-or-treating. You can take advantage of your church, supermarkets, and malls as well. But most of all, we just want everybody to be safe.
Corporal Maureen Smith with the Fulton County Police Department. Hopefully it will be a quiet evening for you all. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks again for having me.
Meanwhile, National Fire Prevention Week gets off to a pretty hot start. Fulton's Fire and Rescue Department kicked off the observance at the Darnell Multipurpose Senior Center, along with getting to interact with a fire truck and the department's mobile fire safety house. Seniors were taught fire safety tips and the importance of this year's theme, Don't Wait, Check the Date.
Now, we always talk about smoke alarms, but a lot of times we don't focus on the fact that if you don't check the date, your smoke alarm can be no good anymore. We're not talking about just changing the battery. We're talking about the mechanism itself. So an actual smoke alarm only lasts for 10 years.
From learning how to put out a grease fire to crawling on the floor to escape a burning house, The seniors always learn something new at this annual event.
I think that's a good thing because you never know when something like that, you never know when something could happen. Anyone can, make a mistake or something, put something in the wrong place and cause something to happen that they didn't intend to happen.
I learned a lot about how to escape if their house is on fire. I learned the second way to escape, other than just going out the door. If you can't get out the door, how to go out the window by using the escape ladder. And that's really amazing to me. I never knew about that.
Fire officials were pleased with the various questions the seniors asked, and the hope is they pass on what they learned to their family members.
You have to have a plan, because seniors and young children are two of the age groups that are harmed the most in fire.
Fulton's first responders provide educational outreach programs year-round. And still to come on Fulton Today, heading back to campus to spread the HIV/AIDS message. It's a part of our district-by-district coverage next. The push to bring awareness to Fulton's high number of HIV and AIDS cases heads to Georgia State University. And how did it go for the dozens of job seekers who participated in the huge job fair at Turner Field? Well, here's this week's district-by-district coverage. We begin with Fulton's chairman as he continues his Stop the Spread of HIV campus campaign. Chairman John Eves visited Georgia State University for his second presentation about HIV and AIDS in Fulton County. Health professionals have declared a public health emergency in Atlanta because of its high HIV rate. Historically, college campuses have been known for having a high number of sexual activity.
The university community is a part of the vibrancy of Fulton County, and it's a vulnerable population. We want to target them. We want to help them out. It doesn't mean that they're any more important than anybody else, but they are the new leaders, they're emerging leaders of our community, and we want them to have the most pleasant experience while they're here. And so we're reaching out to the college and university community, and I'm very, very happy about that.
Many of our students are from Fulton County, and I think they recognize the importance of having good, effective government and government that's engaged in the real problems of the community. And it's obvious that the Commissioner Eves is very committed to improving the lives of Fulton County citizens. We appreciate that.
In 2014, it was reported that Atlanta had the 5th highest rate of new HIV infections, according to Emory University Center for AIDS Research. The chairman's public health campaign is aimed at preventing more HIV and AIDS cases on college campuses. He launched the Stop the Spread of AIDS campus campaign at Clark Atlanta University earlier this fall. Hundreds of applicants show up at the District 5 job fair at Turner Field. A number of major employers partnered with Commissioner Marvin Arrington Jr. to help job seekers find employment. The packed crowd came knowing that many companies were ready to make offers right there on the spot.
Today we have over 25 employers that are looking to hire within the next 30 to 90 days, up to 200 people. And so we're very excited that the people have turned out. We have a lot of Fulton County residents that have turned out. They're looking for jobs, they're looking for work. The employers are here, they're hiring, they're doing screening. We did interviewing skills and resume writing skill workshops 2 weeks ago. So we're very excited about the potential for today.
This is like a great opportunity. As long as you have your resume, people are taking resumes, there's a lot of people out here. So, I mean, it's a great community effort, definitely.
Prior to the job fair, Fulton's WorkSource Georgia division hosted workshops to aid its participants with resume writing and proofing and interviewing skills. We are still waiting to hear just how many people were hired at or after the fair. And finally, in District 6, a popular annual art display has a new home and a new name. The Best of Darnell, as it is now called, is featured at the Southwest Art Center. During the opening reception, patrons viewed the art pieces, which are the works of seniors in the Life Enrichment Program at the Darnell Senior Multipurpose Facility. The exhibit was once referred to as the Artist Walk. Participants and county staff wanted to take the program to the next level by placing the artwork in an official art center.
It's wonderful. We have really moved up. We usually have it at the Darnell Center, but here everything is on display from the walls to the tables, and it's just wonderful. We're glad to be here.
I think it's wonderful. I think it gives more people a chance to come by to look instead of going all the way over to the Darnell Center. And we feel very special having it done here.
We want to give special appreciation to the artists, the participants at the Harry G. Darnell Center, whose artistic work and talent have made this a most beautiful evening.
This is the final week of the Best of Darnell. The exhibit is a collaboration between Fulton's Aging and Youth Services Department and the Arts and Culture Department. Now you can catch more of your commissioners at work all this week with the rebroadcast of the Board of Commissioners meeting right here on FGTV. And when we come back, a touching story from a survivor of breast cancer. Stay with us. Fulton employees take part in the largest AIDS fundraising event in the Southeast. Runners and walkers filled Piedmont Park for the annual AIDS Walk Atlanta and 5K run. Money raised during the event helps fund local organizations that provide services for those impacted by HIV and AIDS. Several Fulton County Health Services employees participated in the run or donated money.
We're like in the hub of all HIV cases in the state of Georgia, and we have the highest rates for HIV. We want to make sure we're doing something in the community and being a part of what's going on in the city.
Also making a stop at the event, a popular TV star.
The AIDS and HIV issue is a growing problem throughout this region, so I'm here just to speak to that and to speak to how important it is for all of us to be involved and engaged in this fight, no matter where you are, no matter who you are.
According to the Fulton HIV and AIDS Task Force, Georgia ranks second among U.S. states for new HIV diagnoses. The Atlanta area comes in fifth for new cases compared to other metropolitan areas. Now, even though the run is over, you can still support the effort by visiting AIDSWalkAtlanta.com. And ending the HIV epidemic was one of the main topics of the Fulton DeKalb Hospital Authority's annual health summit. Speakers at the Unmasking the Truth About HIV luncheon featured members of the HIV task force and Fulton's chairman. Organizers stressed the importance of reducing the stigma of the virus and educating young people about the new treatments available for HIV.
The truth is we have good news about HIV, but the truth also is that HIV is shrouded in stigma, and we have to end the stigma in order to help people get in care, get tested, get the kind of treatment and prevention that will help us to end the epidemic.
So we're hoping that those that are here today will take the information back to the communities so that we can also do our part to help eradicate this disease in our community.
Other topics discussed during the summit were all issues that greatly impact Fulton residents, including diabetes, heart disease, and cancer. And as we wrap up Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we want to introduce you to some ladies who get some of their strength by sharing their personal stories. FGTV's Lynn Vaughn has more.
A room arrayed with women in pink gather to remember those who have died from breast cancer.
Varnita Smith.
The mission of this breast cancer support session was twofold. It was a time to honor those who have died, as well as fondly remembering survivors. So, seniors at the Darnell Multipurpose Facility shared intimate details of their journey to wellness.
I went for my regular mammogram on the right side, and there it was back.
The women explained how they felt when they received their diagnoses and talked about what happened following their chemotherapy or mastectomy treatments.
And when my hair came out and when it finally started coming in, it was gray and fuzzy. I told my husband, cut it off, because I thought it would come back another color, I guess. But this is what I got. I had black hair, and now I have gray hair, and I say, well, since God gave me this gray hair, I'm gonna keep it.
While each story was different, they all agree sharing their struggles helped not only themselves, but others.
It inspires a person that's going through the journey that you have been through to let them know that they are not alone.
It was good for me just to see the everything that people have went through and the energy they still have.
And there was plenty of energy as the session wrapped up with a celebration of good times ahead. Thanks to winning their battles with breast cancer. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Lynn Vaughn.
And still to come on Fulton Today, what do seniors in October have in common? Oktoberfest, of course. We'll take you there when we come back. As October comes to a close, some county seniors have an Oktoberfest celebration complete with food, entertainment, and plenty of health information. Members from a number of local senior citizens gathered at the New Horizons Neighborhood Senior Center to join in on the festivities. The second annual Fulton County Neighborhood Senior Center Oktoberfest was the perfect opportunity for seniors to interact with members from other centers.
We have a cakewalk, we have bingo, we have the Port of Sanford Theater, we have the Beulah Boys, we have Beverly Watkins. Just an opportunity for all the seniors to come together and fellowship.
Health vendors also set up tables with resources available and information on how to get necessary exams like mammograms. For more information on services available year-round, you can contact the Star Line at 404-613-6000. And finally, as the chilly weather tries to creep in, some seniors have one more memory of summer. Seniors joined Commissioner Marvin Arrington Jr. for a pool party celebration, which included food and an aqua volleyball game. The seniors at the HJC Bowden Center say the pool is a vital tool in their healthy lifestyles.
When I work out in the pool, it doesn't hurt. You know, I don't feel the pain and stuff, and it's you work out really hard, you can actually sweat in the pool without even realizing that you're working out. That's what I like about the pool.
The indoor pool was closed for a part of the summer due to maintenance issues, but was reopened just in time for the party. Participants say the pool classes are one of the most popular activities at the Bowden facility. And before we go, our reminder that we'd like to connect with you online. Check us out anytime on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and our YouTube channel. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. I'm Shania Chavis-Rucker. Thank you so much for watching. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.